Yeah. And why you say that, you know, you think, no, you know, you're probably thinking, how can he say that? There are some good things in that. But you see, the music, it leads to so much different other things.
Yeah.
Like you say, arrogancy.
It's haram, isn't it?
It's haram. You see, he knows the word haram. So I don't know what words to use here, but Islam now is getting so big because obviously every day there's Muslims on TV. You see in Iraq, you see in Syria, you see here, Muslims are getting arrested, Muslims getting attacked. Well, the Rastas and well, I wouldn't say the Rastas, I would say that, you know, the Caribbean community, they knew about this from back in the day. Because they got attacked.
Of course.
You know, when they started to speak certain things, they got attacked. But now the Muslims are on the front line, and you know, they just brandish anybody who talks the truth as a terrorist, or you know, he's fundamentalist. We can't follow our faith in the correct manner, or we'd be called fundamentalists. And this is the fact. But we're going to talk until we're never going to stop.
Yes, I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah.
So, you know where you said the music is haram. Yeah?
Yes.
So you know, like the prayer call in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
The prayer call.
Adhan.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I can do.
Yeah. Is that sound of music? Because that is your voice.
Yeah.
Without a bass and without a.
That's right. Okay.
That is acceptable, right?
That's acceptable. Now you see, the thing is, okay, what is not acceptable? Okay, this is it. See, the voice is acceptable. Even in our prayers, we recite the Quran. The Quran, the book of the Muslims, the Quran, is a recitation.
Okay.
You know, I can do a bit for you if you want.
Yeah,
and
please.
Okay, do you want to do adhan? Do you want to call, or do you want to do the Quran? I mean, it's two different.
Anyone you want.
Okay, so adhan is like this. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. So this is a bit of the adhan.
Now go on, keep going. Keep going. That was, seriously.
You like that? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Okay, so
my head felt like hers. No, respect.
Well, I hope, Charlie, I don't know if you what faith you follow, but I'm hoping that one day you become a Muslim. If you're already Muslim in your heart, I don't know. Many people, they may not look Muslim, but you know, they are Muslims already.
Yeah.
But
I kind of not to change the subject. I kind of take to every religion.
Yeah.
If as long as you got love, respect, and honor,
I hear you.
one aim, one destiny, one.
But there is a difference, though. There's a difference, you see.
Yeah,
but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. That's a start, and then maybe one day we can explain all that, because that's a long conversation. Definitely. But what I'm saying with the music, the instruments in music is haram.
Yeah.
Like, because the instruments are the ones that kind of take you away. Even if there was a good message, you would be more indoctrinated by the beats.
So they got jinns in the music, innit?
All this kind of thing. You're getting deep. You're quite deep. He knows about jinns. This is getting deep now. And Shaitan was a jinn. It wasn't an angel. See, in Islam, there's angels and they're pure.
Yeah.
They can never be evil.
Yeah.
Angels. But you got jinns and you got mankind. Mankind are jinns. Mankind and jinns is two different creations. As you can see, we're mankind.
Yeah.
When we say mankind, we mean the women, everything on that way. And the jinns are like another creation, which they have women jinns, men jinns, and they have a whole generation as well, good and bad, but they all came from Shaitan's back. Like mankind was coming from Adam.
Yeah.
We all came from Adam and Eve, obviously, not Adam and Steve, and it was kind of thing. So, and the jinns, like I said, they came from Shaitan's back. It's a whole little story.
Yeah.
But the music in itself, instruments, is not permissible, because even if the message was good, it takes you away from. It kind of puts you in a. How can I put it? The feeling of it will make you. It's like if you take a drug. Hypnotic, that's the word. Thank you, my brother. Hypnotic. So this would take you away from the actual remembrance of what the actual message is, and you'll start moving and dancing, and that leads to a whole heap of different things. As you can see in clubs, you're drinking. Next minute, you're
step into a girl and
in Islam, obviously, it's not permissible because Islam has relationships, but in the marriage field, you know what I mean? So done by a way of marriage.
And music, not to cut you, but music. A lot of music is hand in hand with music, with drink and drugs.
Exactly, my brother.
So a lot of people, underneath the influence of alcohol and drugs,
100%,
are listening to the music, and 100%. It's a different vibe, isn't it?
Yep. And from that comes violence.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I mean, if you don't agree with me, that's no problem, but you can see it every day. We used to go to so many clubs and perform, and you see people fighting outside. You see the people on Saturday night, Friday night, they're clubbing, they're partying, and they're drinking and they're fighting. Yeah, and the people are getting killed. People, women, people are degrading themselves. They're like, they're dropping on the floor, they're being sick. Is this the way of a human being's life? Is this the only thing? No. Then you may say, well, we just do it on a Saturday to get a bit of, get away from reality. Yeah. But why do you want to run away from reality? Yeah. That's a sign in itself that you don't want to face reality, or you in a sense of like, maybe the real purpose of life hasn't been given to you. Me as a Muslim, the purpose of life, what Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, I've only created the jinn and human and mankind that you worship me. This is what we're made for. It's not end all here for the Muslims. We believe there's another life, and that life is eternal. That life is eternal. And once the knowledge comes to you of that, and you see from the source it comes, and then you believe that 100%, when we believe the Quran has never been changed, it's not the words of Muhammad, peace be upon him, it came from Allah directly, and given to the angel Gabriel in English, and then given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who memorized it all, and then written on and put in the book of the Quran, and established. This is 100% word of the Almighty. And like I said, I just quoted the verse of that was given to mankind, and to jinn, that you should worship Allah. This is what your purpose is on life here, and you have to worship the Creator by the way He said to worship, not your way, in your sense of like what you think is right. And that's the difference between a believer and a non-believer. The one who's doing it and the one who's not doing it this way.
Definitely.
And that was given, and then see the Creator, He gives examples who to follow. Prophets. Yeah. So there goes to the prophet, the last prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him. As the prophet Moses said, as the prophet David said, as the prophet Jesus said, Musa in Arabic, Dawood in Arabic, Isa in Arabic, these four prophets, and Abraham. And there's many prophets, but we have 25 of the main ones in the Quran mentioned. The rest we don't need to know. And the last final prophet is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, sent to mankind. So that comes in role models as well, you see. Yeah. We're talking about role,
definitely. Definitely. All right. So when you got the big hit, what was your wake up call? How did you like getting your wake up call, and you got your hit? The hit was so close.
Yeah.
The stardom, everything's there.
Believe me.
And getting a wake up call, was you kind of trapped in 100%. Two worlds where you thought, but my faith is pulling me this way.
That's right.
But the industry is pulling me that way.
That's right.
Two kind of
exactly. And
trapped.
And that's it. That's what happened. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I first had the hit, just as I had the hit, all my friends were shocked when I said, I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my own like Islamic music. I grew my beard. And this is back in 1994. Okay. Yeah. So, I didn't say I was going to leave music totally like I've done now. But I thought I can do music, but in the way I want to do it. I didn't want to do Junglist Girl no more. I didn't even want to sing original at that time. I was like, no. And they were like, what are you talking about? And they were really, and I understood why they were like that, because it took me so long to bust, you know. I mean, we went through sound system, struggled, went to different places, I recorded so many tunes, and they just used to come like in the studio, nothing used to happen. Even like when Nutter came, I thought nothing was going to happen, and they just went mad and they released it. But anyway, that's another story in itself. I just said, by the will of Allah, I said, right, I want to do Islamic music, and I thought I could do that and still do music. So I went back into the music still, recorded some like more conscious songs, some with direct Islamic messages, some were just talking about God in just like that, open-minded, and went to many labels. They knew me obviously from UK Apache stuff, but they were just like, they didn't believe in that. Not like now, we've got many Muslim TV stations now, and many Muslim artists. And all that. Al Jazeera is more like a news, but you've got Islam Channel, and you've got like Peace TV. But Islam Channel kind of like promotes music and all that kind of thing. So you've got these Muslim artists as well. Back in the day, you didn't have them, or they weren't known. I went back into the music and I was just doing my thing, and then I just went kind of like back in the game, and I was still performing, but I was still, that time I was praying.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I was calling the adhan, what you heard Allah in the mosque, in the masjid.
Yeah.
So I had this mad life. In the daytime I'd be like, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and in the night I'd be like, Nanini wo, no, you get me? So this is a confusement.
Yeah, it's a double personality type
and
of thing.
You're even double personality without even
personality.
being that person, because most people don't call themselves their real names.
Yeah, true.
So
Alias.
they live
Alias.
So UK Apache is different from my name, Abdul Wahab.
Yeah.
Two different people. You could have another artist. I'm not going to mention names, but you know they've got this name and they've got their real name, and it could be two different people, even if they don't know directly.
Yeah, that's. Do you know what? I've thought about that before, but now you've said it, it definitely hits home. It's like Beyonce saying that her name Beyonce, and then she says her name Sasha Fierce.
Exactly, and this is a deep thing because you know if you're not trying to be who you are, who are you trying to be?
Yeah.
I mean, who are you trying to be?
Maybe it's time for everybody to forget about the AKA and just deal with the original you. The original you.
You should deal with the original you, because if you deal with the original you, the original you, tongue twisters, the original nutter. If you deal with the original you, you're going to be more real to yourself, and being more real, you're going to actually question what is the real purpose of life, and then we go to it. It's not following, you know, or being an artist or just an entertainer, or it's much more, you know. And the Creator set a great way for mankind to follow, and he said that the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, is the best example. Prophets are the best example to follow, and we follow the last one. But so this being two different types of people, you know, is definitely
confusion.
That's right, and I don't like to be confused in my life. So I knew I was praying that time, and I was still performing, because at one time, you know, it was difficult for me to find any other work. You know, I did look for other work and stuff, and they thought I was joking when they asked me what occupation you are. I said I'm an entertainer. The woman said that's your dream job. And I tell you the story. I was in the job centre and I looked for work, and I was there, and the woman said, "Okay, that's your dream job. What's your real job?" And I looked away, and there was a guy who recognised me, and he came and goes, "Apache man, sign his autograph." all in one time. Can you believe it? I'm like, this is mad. So I had to go back to the game. But what happened? My mum, she got ill. And I used to pray, and I was always praying. I was praying in the hotel rooms. I was praying in many locations where I was performing and asking Allah, you know, help me, guide me. I'm not saying I was perfect, because obviously, you know, nobody's perfect. So I was saying, I know one day you'll make a way for me, because I didn't really want to die in those places, you know, in that situation. But I had kind of like, you know, Shaitan gets you as well with poverty. He'll make you think there's no other way to make a way. It means. And that's another thing. Like, I spoke to many youth that are dealing with drugs and all that kind of thing. I said, leave it. And they're like, no, but this is the way I make money. But I said, Allah will make a way for you. And that's the Muslim youth I'm talking to. Oh, any youth. You know what I mean? The Creator, if you leave something bad, He'll open a door for you. You know, but it's just a thing called faith.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to believe. And if you believe and put some trust, at the beginning it may be a bit difficult. Believe and put some trust. Eventually He'll make a way for me. And He made a way for me. When my mum got ill, and you know, my mum died, and she had cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, but you know, in a way, in Islam way, the death is looked at a different way. Sometimes it's like a blessing.
Yeah, death is inevitable.
And sickness as well is like a blessing sometimes. Inevitable. We're gonna die, because even in the Quran it says, "Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, thumma ilayna turja'un." Every soul will taste death, and to us is your return. The Creator always says us, but He's one. But He says us out of greatness. You know, sometimes the Queen says us and all that, but she means, you know, you know, she means them. Yeah, like, the Creator means Him by Himself, because He, you know, and when I say Him, not a he or her. And it means grace. So every soul, no doubt, if you're not famous in this life, you don't become a doctor, you don't become a superstar, you don't become a singer, actor. There's one thing that's going to happen for you: you're going to die. Yeah, well, body's going to die, but soul's going to live on. That's right. The body's going to die. And your soul lives on. This is our belief, and you're going to be accountable for everything you've done in this world. Because Allah says in the Quran, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. This verse, every ant's weight of good will be seen, and every ant's weight of evil would be seen, because Allah made the Quran very easy to understand. You may think, wow, how am I going to learn Arabic? Arabic is a complex language.
Yeah, yeah.
But when he says ants, you know, anybody can understand an ant.
Ant, yeah.
It's light, you know.
Ants weight.
Small, yeah.
How much the ant weighs.
So you're not going to get away from nothing.
Yeah.
The smallness of it, like Allah's going to see, He's going to judge you on everything you've done that's good and bad, everything. In that verse, so definitely the death is going to come, and this is something we've got to take very seriously. You know, we've got to look at our lives. I'm sorry about my God.
Alright, cool. So, in the industry right now, a lot of artists are leaving the musical industry and embracing Islam. Why do you think that is, Mama?
I think because they've realised the realness, like this, they've realised that this must be the truth. Because life is more than just making money, having screaming fans, and you know, people and dealing with materialistic things. You know, life is much more than that. Once you've had all that, and you say to yourself, "What's next? Where do I need? Which club do I need to perform in today? It's just a building. No, club's a building. Or which stage do I need to go on?" And you think to yourself, "This just goes on and on and on." And you know, if you're sincere in your heart, and the evil around it, when you see people getting drunk or people taking drugs or people, you're a part of that, whether you like it or not. You've encouraged them to do that. Even in your messages, in your songs, you know, mic and all this is a very powerful thing. People have died because they made a verse, I'm going to do this down this place, or I'm a bad man in Tooting, or I'm a bad man down south, or bad man down east. Then the next people come and there's war. Yeah, because your mouth. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to get away from death. Yeah. Look at the great people that talk good things and they got assassinated. You know, like we mentioned Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these people. You know. People that stood up for rights, you know, and they got assassinated. Yeah, yeah. But what I said to myself is, it's better to die saying a good thing than to be. Can you imagine you got killed saying I'm a drug dealer, I'm a gangbanger, I'm a pimp, I'm a gangman, and I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to stab you, run in your house, kill your mother, and all that kind of thing. Believe me, I'm not afraid to say this. I'm not scared of nobody but Allah, the Creator. And I will say to the youth, you're the leaders. Yeah, whatever you do now is going to affect the youngers unto you, because I know you've got elders, olders, youngers, all this kind of thing. You need to think, because the mouth, right, and the speech is very dangerous thing. It's a weapon. Yeah. It's very powerful. Yeah. It's very, and you will, you know, cause a reaction. You know, when you speak, when you rhyme, when you spit lyrics, you will cause a reaction. And one thing you should think that, you know, if you're talking about my gang this, my gang that, you know, you should think, is that what you really want to talk about? Is that what life is about? Yeah, definitely. It's much bigger than that.
In the next 10 years, there's not going to be no gang. You're going to be a big man. You got your wife and your picnic. If you live that, you'll be running away from that, and then that same gang can come back around and haunt you. That's right. What you did then can come back and haunt you later in life.
True, so that's true.
You know,
I mean, even when they said me original nutter, they used to say to me, what does it mean? And I used to say to them, look, a nutter can mean many different things, but my understanding of a nutter is somebody who has a dream and achieves his dream. So even in the video, if you go back to, I'm not saying to look at the video, but
I was watching it this morning.
Yeah, you see the flashes of like Malcolm X, of my grandfather that was an ANC, you know, fighting for justice. You see Gandhi. There's pictures like that, and I should say a nutter's one who achieves their dreams. Not somebody goes around and bullies up people, robs people, and you know, this is not the way to be in life. Just because you've got strength, and you may have power in that way, you should never take advantage of that. You should use it for good. Yeah. I think the time has changed with the youth. Right? I'm not saying everybody's bad, right? I'm not saying, and you may be a bit misguided. You may not know. Like you may think I'm doing the right thing. So I'm not hating against nobody. You know, we've got love for everybody. We're here with love. We're not here with hatred. But we're here to try to say a good thing. You know, and maybe you should reconsider yourself. Me selling drugs, shotting drugs, is that a good thing for the community? Is that a good thing? Think about your mother as well and your father, you know. Think about how they struggled to make you a good person, and the shame that it brings upon yourself. Can you imagine you die? I was a drug dealer and you die. I'll tell you a story. There was a guy who was shotting drugs, and he went to Brazil or something, and something happened to him. He swallowed the drugs, and the drugs burst in his body, and he died, just like that. Now, you know, at the end of the day, only the Creator knows, you know, why somebody wants to do that, what their situation is. We can't judge people in their situation, but I'm not saying it's good to do anyway, you know, if your situation's tough or whatever. Yeah. But look, this is the way somebody can end their life. You know, I pray that I never go down that road, because anything can happen, anybody can change. They can be good and then change bad. They could be anything. But you know, generally, I'm sure nobody would really want to leave the earth in that way.
Definitely not.
Why not leave the earth by educating people, doing good, if you know, helping the elderly, helping the youngers, you know. I done a version of Nutter called I Was a Nutter. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
It's like we call it nasheed. It's just vocals, no music.
Do you wanna? No. I think they need it. I think they need it.
If I can remember it, because
I want to touch something on that Nutter after you finish. But if you can bless them, that'll be.
You see, I'm running away from these things, right? Because I'm trying to concentrate more on the Quran and stuff. But I'll try to do a bit.
All right.
Everlasting name, I was a nutter, but now I'm a changed brother. All right, mate. Know what you're doing, mate. Before it's too late. Every soul will taste the fate. Hey, what we tell him now? Live and direct. Nanini woy, singing no no. Nanini woy, singing no no. Nanini woy, singing no. Who ya he? No. Bad boys in a London, rude boys in a England, bad boys in a Jamaican, rude boys in a Kingston. To are the bad boys in America, or the rude boys in Africa. To are the bad boys in Arabia, or the rude boys all over. I was a nutter, original mad nutter, original nutter, original mad nutter, original. I was a nutter, wanna be gangster, thought I was smarter, thought I was wise, I never listened to my mother. Single parent, absent father, the recipe peak for a big disaster. But life is stranger as you move older, and as you move nearer could a final chapter. You start to think, you start to wonder the purpose of life. Is this the answer? To be a baller, to be a player, to mislead the blind straight to the fire. So I bond the liar, trusted the higher, and got the truth, what I require. Alhamdulillah. Bad boys in a London, rude boys in a England, bad boys in a Jamaican, rude boys in a Kingston. To are the bad boys in America, or the rude boys in Africa. To are the bad boys in Arabia, or the rude boys all over. I was a nutter, original mad nutter, original not a original mad. Not but I changed my life, left the strife, left the darkness, and I found the light. Demon forces inside I fight, so I give thanks and praise me say day and night. Because in this time of pure war and crime, you better leave it behind. You better focus your mind upon the one divine, upon the one divine. Nobody waste no time, nobody waste your time. Stay firm to the road, even when it is cold. You got to take the big load. Don't make your heart get sold, because the story is old, but it's never been told. It's got to be told. Listen. Don't you think it's time we respect the elders? Well, don't you think it's time we respect the youngers? Well, don't you think it's time we respect the neighbor? Well, don't you think it's time we respect the creator? Well, bad boys in a London, rude boys in a England, bad boys in a Jamaican, rude boys in a Kingston. To are the bad boys in America, or the rude boys in Africa. To are the bad boys in Arabia, or the rude boys all over. Don't be a murderer, shoot nobody on the corner. Wanna hear me? Don't be a murderer, stop, don't be a murderer. Do something good up on the corner.
Hey, blessed.
Even if Satan's playing, like Satan trying to destroy the lyrics, but you're gonna hear it in here because it's gonna turn up the volume.
Shaitan tried to come in there. But respect, my brother. That was live, yeah.
We're just talking consciousness. That's on the YouTube as well, called I Was a Nutter. Check it out. It's the message I'm trying to send to the people. You know, worldwide, international. Doesn't matter what age you are, ever. You know. No need to be a nutter in the sense of, like, you know, madness. Focus your life and do good things.
And what I'm gonna say, Abdul, as well.
Yeah.
For the listeners and the viewers, the young people, yeah.
Yeah.
when we say nutter, yeah, you can be a nutter, yeah, because a lot of people that wasn't followers, that was leaders, was looked upon as a nutter because
yeah,
you
exactly.
tell a person, say, "Oi, John, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down the road. I'll make a left. I'm going to make a right." And man will say, "No, no, no, no. Anything could happen." But you're following your own instinct. You're following what the Almighty is telling you to do.
That's right.
So you're not listening to what man's saying.
No.
So in your head, you're on a mission, but in the next man's head, you're a nutter. You understand what I'm saying to you? So
right.
There's nothing wrong with being a nutter, you know.
That's what
we're not talking about being the bad guy nutter.
Exactly.
Because you go in jail or someone put you in the floor.
Make no sense doing wickedness, you know. It makes sense just doing righteousness and positivity, you know. Uplift the people, uplift the community, inshallah, God willing, uplift the nation and uplift the world. That's what we're talking about, you know. Positivity around the world. It doesn't mean, you know, I pray that everybody looks into Islam. You know, I invite the whole world to Islam and look into it with an open heart and open mind. But if it's not for you, that's your decision. But you can still live good. You know, as I said, don't you think it's time we respect the elders? Don't you think it's time we respect the youngers? Don't you think it's time we respect the neighbours? And don't you think it's time we respect the Creator?
Trust me. All right, I'm going to ask you 2 more questions and we'll wrap it, yeah?
No problem.
So, since you've moved away from the music industry,
yes,
and you've gone into Islam,
yeah,
how's your life changed since then?
Majorly. No, to be honest, like I said, I was practicing in when I was doing music, so I wasn't, you know, actually the producers used the promoters used to say they used to love me because I didn't drink alcohol, I didn't take drugs, I didn't have to get none of that for me, you know, just pay my money for my performance and stuff. But yeah, obviously I'm